Well, first alert tonight out of Lawrence County. The coroner now confirms the missing teen who was found dead last week was shot to death. 18-year-old MyAngel Walker was reported missing last Thursday. Her body was found in a car along McKenzie Road in Greenwood County. Now, Clinton police have charged Malachi Presley with murder, accusing him of shooting Walker. And Taylor Kennard was also charged with accessory after the fact. Police say she helped dispose of the body.
At 18, MyAngel Walker had her whole life ahead of her. Nursing school, dreams, a future. But on December 11, 2024, between 10 and 11 p.m. on Gary Street in Clinton, South Carolina, those dreams were shattered by a single gunshot. 2 days later, her body was found in a burned car on a lonely road in Greenwood County. The vehicle was completely destroyed by flames, hidden in the woods where no one was supposed to find it. But someone did find it. And what they discovered led police straight to her killer. This is the story of a young woman whose trust was broken by someone she loved, someone who thought fire could hide the truth. And in this story, we're getting into how it all started and how it happened. Welcome to our channel. Right now, there are thousands of young people like MyAngel Walker who are in relationships completely unaware that their partner's controlling behavior could escalate to deadly violence at any moment. If you want to help spread awareness about domestic violence and the warning signs that could save innocent lives, then please like this video, share it, and subscribe to this channel. Your action now could help protect another person who might be in danger. MyAngel Walker wasn't just another teenager from South Carolina. She was special. At 18 years old, she had just graduated high school and was already making plans for her future. She wanted to become a nurse, a job that would let her help people and make a real difference in the world. MyAngel grew up in Lawrence County, South Carolina, in a loving family. Her mother, Shad Woodruff, raised her to be kind and caring. Everyone who knew MyAngel said the same thing about her. She had a good heart. She was the type of person who would go out of her way to help others, even when she didn't have to. In high school, MyAngel was part of the Lady Raiders team. Her teammates and coaches loved her. She wasn't just a player, she was family to them. The Lady Raiders later said that MyAngel was a caring person who loved her Raider family deeply. She was someone you could count on, someone who brought people together. MyAngel was also a leader. People looked up to her because she knew how to make others feel important and valued. She had that rare quality that made everyone around her feel better just by being there. Her friends and family knew she was going places in life, but like many young people, MyAngel was also trying to figure out love and relationships. She was dating a 19-year-old named Malachi Presley. Their relationship wasn't simple or easy. It was what people call on and off. Sometimes they were together, sometimes they weren't. This kind of relationship can be confusing and hard, especially for someone so young. MyAngel's mother, Sade, knew about Malachi. She watched her daughter go through the ups and downs of this relationship. Looking back now, Sade wishes things had been different. She wishes her daughter had stayed away from Malachi for good. MyAngel had no idea that her dreams of becoming a nurse would never come true. She had no idea that her caring nature and big heart wouldn't be enough to protect her from someone who was supposed to love her. She was just an 18-year-old girl with plans and hopes, trying to build a life for herself. She was about to learn that sometimes the people closest to us can be the most dangerous of all. On and off relationships are never easy. But MyAngel Walker's relationship with Malachi Presley was more complicated than most people knew. At 19, Malachi was just 1 year older than MyAngel, but their relationship had a pattern that worried the people who cared about her. When you're 18 years old, love feels like everything. You think that if someone says they love you, they would never hurt you. You believe that the good times make up for the bad times. MyAngel probably felt this way about Malachi. She probably thought that their problems were normal, that all couples fight and break up and get back together, but on and off relationships can be dangerous. They create a cycle where someone hurts you, then apologizes and promises to change. You break up, but then they come back with sweet words and gifts. They make you feel special again. Then the cycle starts over. Each time it gets a little worse. Each time it becomes harder to leave for good. MyAngel's mother, Sade Woodruff, watched this happen to her daughter. She saw MyAngel go through the emotional roller coaster of breaking up with Malachi, then getting back together with him. Sade probably tried to talk to her daughter about it, but when you're young and think you're in love, it's hard to listen to warnings from your parents. As December 11th, 2024 approached, something was about to break in their relationship. The on and off cycle was about to end in the worst possible way. MyAngel had no idea that the person she had trusted with her heart was about to take her life. MyAngel Walker had no idea it would be her last day alive. She went about her normal routine, probably thinking about work the next day, maybe making plans for the weekend. She had her whole life ahead of her. But somewhere between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. that night, everything changed. MyAngel was on Gary Street in Clinton, South Carolina, when her life was cut short. Police believe this is when Malachi Presley shot and killed her. In just one moment, all of MyAngel's dreams and plans were gone forever. After the shooting, MyAngel's body didn't stay on Gary Street. Malachi had a plan. He put her body in a car and drove away. He thought he could hide what he had done. He thought no one would ever find out the truth. I mean, it's even disgusting to imagine what this guy did to her body. Well, let's continue. December 12th came, and MyAngel was supposed to be at work. Her co-workers were expecting her. Her boss was expecting her. MyAngel was the kind of person who showed up when she was supposed to. She was reliable. She didn't just skip work without calling. When MyAngel didn't show up, people noticed right away. This wasn't like her at all. Her family knew something was very wrong. MyAngel wouldn't just disappear without telling anyone. She wouldn't worry her family like that. She cared too much about the people she loved. Her family didn't wait around hoping she would show up. They knew their daughter, and they knew this wasn't normal. They immediately reported her missing to the Lawrence Police Department. They told police that MyAngel was last seen in Clinton, so the Clinton Police Department joined the search too. The police took this seriously from the start. They knew that when someone like MyAngel goes missing, someone young, responsible, and close to her family, it usually means something bad has happened. They didn't treat this like a runaway case or assume she would come home on her own. Chief Heath Copeland from the Lawrence Police Department later said, "It became apparent during the night that we were looking for something a little more than just somebody missing." The police could tell this was going to be more serious than a typical missing person case. The investigation quickly grew bigger. It wasn't just one police department looking for MyAngel anymore. The search spread across county lines. Police from Lawrence County, Newberry County, and Greenwood County all started working together. They knew they were racing against time. In missing person cases, the first 48 hours are the most important. After that, the chances of finding someone alive go down fast. MyAngel's family and the police all knew this. Everyone was working as hard as they could to find her before it was too late. But while the police were searching, MyAngel was already gone. Her body was in a car that Malachi and his friend Taylor Kennard were planning to destroy. They thought if they burned the car, no one would ever know what really happened to MyAngel. They thought they could get away with murder. The police didn't know this yet. They were still hoping to find MyAngel alive. They were checking hospitals, talking to her friends, looking at security cameras. They were doing everything they could to bring her home safely. MyAngel's mother, Sade Woodruff, was probably going through the worst hours of her life. Every minute that passed without news felt like forever.
I just wanted to put eyes on my baby. I wanted to be able to see my baby.
MyAngel's body was found around 5 Friday morning in a car near McKenzie Road.
She was probably calling MyAngel's phone over and over, hoping to hear her daughter's voice. She was probably thinking of all the places MyAngel might be, all the reasons she might not be answering. But deep down, Sade probably knew something terrible had happened. Mothers have a way of knowing when their children are in danger. She probably felt it in her heart that MyAngel wasn't just missing, she was gone. The 48-hour window was closing fast. December 13th was coming, and with it, the discovery that would change everything. The police were about to find out that they weren't looking for a missing person anymore. They were looking at a murder case. What would you do if someone you loved suddenly disappeared? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more true crime content. The search was about to end in the worst possible way. December 13th, 2024 was the day that changed everything. It was the day MyAngel Walker's family got the news they were dreading. It was the day the police realized they weren't dealing with a missing person case anymore. Mackenzie Road in Greenwood County is not the kind of place you go by accident. It's a rural area far from the main roads and busy streets. There are woods on both sides, and houses are spread far apart. It's quiet and isolated, the perfect place to hide something you don't want anyone to find. This is where Malachi Presley and Taylor Kennard chose to dump MyAngel's body. They drove her car deep into the woods, thinking no one would ever look there. They thought the trees would hide their crime forever. But they made one big mistake. They decided to burn the car. Fire is loud and bright, especially at night. Even in a rural area like Mackenzie Road, someone was bound to notice. Smoke rises high into the sky, and the smell of burning metal and plastic travels far. You can't hide a car fire, no matter how remote the location. When the burned vehicle was discovered, it was completely destroyed. The flames had eaten through the metal, melted the tires, and turned everything inside to ash. The car was just a black, twisted shell of what it used to be. But even though the fire had done its job of destroying evidence, it couldn't hide the fact that someone had died inside. The person who found the burned car immediately called the police. They knew this wasn't just an accident or someone dumping an old car. This looked like a crime scene. When the first officers arrived at Mackenzie Road, they could tell right away that something terrible had happened. The car wasn't just burned. It had been deliberately set on fire. This wasn't an accident or a mechanical problem. Someone had poured gasoline or used some other accelerant to make sure the car would burn completely. Inside the burned wreckage, they found human remains. The body was so badly burned that it would take time to identify who it was. But the police had a terrible feeling they knew. MyAngel Walker had been missing for 2 days, and now they had found a burned car with a body inside. The burned car had to be carefully removed from the scene. A tow truck was called to pull the destroyed vehicle out of the woods.
19-year-old Malachi Presley has been charged with murder and possession of a firearm during the commission of a violent crime. Also, 19-year-old Taylor Kennard has been charged as an accessory after the fact. Today, police extended their condolences to Walker's family.
Video footage from local news stations showed the blackened shell being dragged away, leaving behind only burned grass and the smell of smoke. For MyAngel's family, this was the moment their worst fears came true. They had been hoping and praying that she would be found alive, that maybe she was just hurt somewhere and couldn't call for help. But when the police told them about the burned car and the body inside, they knew their daughter was never coming home. The police also knew that this changed everything about their investigation. They weren't looking for a missing teenager anymore. They were hunting for a killer. But even though the fire had destroyed most of the physical evidence, the killers had made mistakes. They had left clues that would lead the police straight to them. The investigation was about to move very fast. The discovery on Mackenzie Road marked the end of the search for MyAngel Walker and the beginning of the hunt for her killers. The police now knew exactly what they were dealing with, and they were determined to get justice for MyAngel and her family. The burned car had told them everything they needed to know. This was murder, and someone was going to pay for it. The investigation now stretched across 3 counties: Lawrence County, where MyAngel lived, Newberry County, where the search had expanded, and Greenwood County, where her body was found. Police departments that normally worked on their own cases were now sharing information and working together to solve MyAngel's murder. Detective teams from each county started putting together a timeline of MyAngel's last days. They needed to figure out exactly what happened and when. They talked to her family, her friends, her co-workers, and anyone else who might have seen her before she disappeared. The police already knew that MyAngel was last seen alive on December 11th, but they needed to know more. Where exactly was she that night? Who was she with? What was she doing in the hours before she was killed? As they dug deeper, one name kept coming up: Malachi Presley. He was MyAngel's on and off boyfriend, and several people told police that their relationship had been rocky. MyAngel's mother, Sade Woodruff, confirmed that Malachi was dating her daughter. The police started looking closely at Malachi. They checked his phone records, talked to his friends, and tried to figure out where he was on December 11th. They also looked at his social media and any other digital footprints that might tell them what he was doing. As the investigation continued, the police discovered something important. They found out that MyAngel had been shot on Gary Street in Clinton, South Carolina. This was a crucial piece of the puzzle because it gave them the actual crime scene where the murder happened. Gary Street became the focus of intense investigation. Police searched the area for bullet casings, blood evidence, or anything else that might have been left behind. They talked to people who lived on Gary Street to see if anyone had heard gunshots or seen anything suspicious on the night of December 11th. The timeline was starting to come together. Police believed that Malachi shot MyAngel on Gary Street between 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. on December 11th, but what happened after the shooting was just as important as the shooting itself. This is where Taylor Kinnard comes into the story. Taylor was 19 years old, the same age as Malachi. The police discovered that Taylor had helped Malachi after the murder. She didn't pull the trigger, but she knew what had happened, and she helped cover it up. According to the police investigation, Taylor helped Malachi dispose of MyAngel's body. This means she was there when they put MyAngel's body in the car. She was there when they drove to Mackenzie Road in Greenwood County. She was there when they set the car on fire. Chief Michael Addison from the Clinton Police Department explained Taylor's role simply. She had knowledge of it and she helped. This made her just as guilty in the eyes of the law, even though she didn't kill MyAngel herself. The police had to figure out exactly how the murder and cover-up happened. They believed that after shooting MyAngel on Gary Street, Malachi put her body in a car. Then, with Taylor's help, he drove the car to the remote area on Mackenzie Road. Once they got to Mackenzie Road, they set the car on fire. They probably used gasoline or another accelerant to make sure the fire would burn hot and fast. They wanted to destroy all the evidence, including MyAngel's body, but their plan didn't work. The fire attracted attention and the burned car was discovered quickly. Even though the flames had destroyed most of the physical evidence, the police were still able to piece together what had happened. The multi-agency cooperation was key to solving this case so quickly. Information was being shared between departments in real time. When one county found a piece of evidence, it was immediately shared with the other counties. When SLED discovered something important, all the local departments knew about it right away. Phone records, security camera footage, and witness statements all started pointing in the same direction. Everything led back to Malachi Presley and Taylor Kinnard. The evidence was building up fast, and the police knew they had enough to make arrests. The investigation had moved from a missing person case to a murder case to a solved murder case in just a few days. The police work had been fast and thorough. They had identified the killer, figured out how the crime happened, and gathered enough evidence to make arrests. MyAngel's family was about to get the justice they deserved. The people who killed their daughter were about to be caught. The investigation was almost over, but the legal battle was just beginning. The arrests happened fast. Just one day after MyAngel's body was found in the burned car, police had enough evidence to arrest both Malachi Presley and Taylor Kinnard. The investigation that started as a missing person case was now ending with murder charges. On December 13, 2024, both suspects were taken into custody. The police didn't waste any time once they had the evidence they needed. They knew that in murder cases you have to act quickly before suspects try to run or destroy more evidence. Malachi Presley, the 19-year-old who police say shot and killed MyAngel, was charged with murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. These are serious charges that could put him in prison for life. The murder charge was for killing MyAngel, and the weapon charge was because he used a gun to commit the crime. Taylor Kynard, also 19, was charged with accessory to murder after the fact. This charge is for people who help cover up a murder after it happens. Even though Taylor didn't kill MyAngel herself, the law says that helping someone hide a murder makes you guilty too. The next day, December 14th, both suspects appeared in court for their bond hearing. This is where a judge decides if they can be released from jail while they wait for their trial. In most cases, people can pay money, called bail, to get out of jail temporarily, but not this time. The judge looked at the evidence and the serious nature of the charges and made a decision. Both Malachi Presley and Taylor Kynard were denied bond. This meant they would stay in jail until their trial was over. Police Chief Michael Addison spoke to the media about the arrests. He was clearly relieved that the case had been solved so quickly. Chief Addison said, "The Clinton Police Department, along with the supporting agencies, extends our deepest condolences to the family and friends of MyAngel Walker during this difficult time."
The Clinton Police Department, along with the supporting agencies, extends our deepest condolences to the family and the friends of MyAngel Walker during this difficult time.
The community reacted with mixed emotions to the news of the arrests. People were glad that justice was being served and that MyAngel's killers had been caught, but they were also sad that it had come to this. A young woman was dead, and 2 other young people had thrown their lives away by committing murder. The Lady Raiders, MyAngel's former high school team, were devastated by the loss. They released a statement that showed just how much MyAngel meant to them. The Lady Raiders is deeply saddened by the loss of former player MyAngel Walker. MyAngel was a caring individual who loved her Raider family dearly. The team decided to honor MyAngel's memory in a special way. They planned a tribute during their game against Greenwood on Friday, December 20th. The Lady Raiders asked the community to come out and support the game, not just to watch basketball, but to celebrate MyAngel's life and remember the good person she was. But the most powerful voice in all of this was MyAngel's mother, SH0T Woodruff. After losing her daughter in such a terrible way, SH0T could have stayed quiet and grieved in private. Instead, she chose to speak out and try to help other people avoid the same tragedy. SH0T's message was clear and urgent. Anybody that's going through any type of domestic dispute, being abused, anything, get away. If you are able, get away.
Anybody that's going through any type of domestic dispute, being abused, anything, get away. If you're able, get away.
These words came from a mother's pain, but also from a mother's love for other people's children. The community rallied around MyAngel's family during this difficult time. People brought flowers, food, and offered their support in any way they could. Churches held prayer services, and neighbors checked on each other more often. Lawrence County had lost one of its bright young stars, and everyone felt it. MyAngel wasn't just a victim in a news story. She was a real person who had touched many lives. Her death reminded everyone that violence can happen anywhere, even in small communities where people think they're safe. MyAngel Walker's story is heartbreaking, but it can also save lives if we learn from what happened to her. Her mother SH0T's message about getting help isn't just words, it's a roadmap for staying safe. The biggest lesson from MyAngel's case is about relationships that go on and off repeatedly. When someone breaks up with you and gets back together with you over and over, that's often a red flag. Healthy relationships don't work that way. When someone can't accept that a relationship is over, that's when things can become dangerous. Young people especially need to understand that jealousy isn't love. Control isn't protection. If someone tries to tell you who you can talk to, where you can go, or what you can do, that's not normal. If someone threatens you or makes you feel scared, that's not love. That's abuse. MyAngel's family did everything right when she went missing. They didn't wait and hope she would show up. They called the police immediately when she didn't come to work. This quick action helped police start their investigation right away. If someone you care about disappears and it's not like them, don't wait. Call for help immediately. But getting help isn't always easy. Sometimes people are too scared to leave. Sometimes they think things will get better. Sometimes they don't have anywhere to go or any money to start over. This is why communities need to have strong support systems in place. MyAngel's story shows us that domestic violence can happen to anyone. She was smart, loved by her family, and had plans for her future. But she was also young and maybe didn't know how to spot the warning signs in her relationship with Malachi. If MyAngel's death can prevent even one other person from being hurt, then her story will have meaning beyond the tragedy. Her mother's message needs to be heard. If you're in danger, get away. If you can't get away alone, ask for help. Your life is worth saving. MyAngel Walker should be in nursing school right now. She should be studying to help people and save lives. Instead, her own life was taken by someone she trusted. But her story doesn't end with her death. Malachi Presley and Taylor Kinnard are still in jail, waiting for their trials to begin. The legal process will continue, but MyAngel's family already has some justice, knowing her killers were caught. MyAngel's story reminds us to look out for each other. What's your state or country? Are there resources in your area for people in dangerous relationships? Share in the comments to help others, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more true crime cases that matter.